Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending peace and the prayers upon His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Shaykh is welcoming everyone to this new episode of the live fatwa from Mishkah Masjid in Houston, Texas. The first question is, what is the hukm of working as a it's just like an officer in the custom authority in Egypt. It's just like general taxation authority. Is not for like sale taxes. So my brother or my son, as you know, like taxes, some of it is just like halal, some of it are just haram. Like some of it are just, and the other one are not just. So if some of the people of the deen would be a part of that kind of area or job environment, it might be rahmah for the people when they use this type of like characteristics. So they can be actually defending those who are, like oppressed or treated with injustice. So you would be that person who actually would help them to get them their rights. Keep that intention in your mind when you start, when you work, even when you leave that job. Sheikh is giving a story from, like the giving an example. Like you could actually negotiate with the one who treat people unjustly to try to get right to get the people some of their rights. Yes, there is a little bit of injustice against these people, but when that person, on behalf of the rest of people, try to negotiate, try to lower that injustice or reduce the amount of injustice with good niyyah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, will get a reward. So when you again reduce or lower that dhulm, you're not coming to help that, the administration, for example. You will get the reward, inshallah, as long as you have this niyyah in the beginning of doing that job and during doing that job. Second question. A lady saying, now we are putting together the trust or the wasiyah or the will. We are here in the States. We have like many assets, like clinics, like lands, houses, real estate, whatever. We are still paying to banks. in order to write this trust or to put it together, we need to know exactly how can we write down that. Sheikh says, according to Sharia, we have to make sure that this tarika or that inheritance, the mirath, is divided by the inheritance according to Sharia, according to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After you pay all the loans or all the debts, and also you fulfill all the wills that the deceased person had done before his death. So when you put that in writing, to make sure that all rights go to the people they deserve it, and you protect the money from getting lost. So try to find the right person to do this one with you. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fix what is in between you. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you tawfiq. You can actually consult maybe legal consultants. You can consult attorneys or lawyers to see what is the right step to do here. Again, pay the loans first, pay the gifts or whatever wills first, and then divide the rest among the inheritance according to, or the inheritors according to the book of Allah and the Sharia of Allah. Don't carry any sin with you after you leave that wife. This life, everybody's gonna actually carry and hold what he or she has done in this life. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. There is a masjid in one of the countries in the Gulf area. They have something called Jam'iyya. It's just like collecting money from if they are 10 people, for example, everybody can pay, for example, 1,000 riyals or dollars, whatever, or dinars. And every month one of them would just get this amount of money. But the masjid would give only $9,000 and take that $1,000 at sadaqah for the masjid. All of them are okay with that. They're satisfied with this kind of condition that the masjid has put it as a condition here. Is that jaiz? Because it looks like the masjid is also taken like its share, like the masjid can take that turn and receive like $10,000 or pounds or riyals. So Sheikh says, well, there is nothing wrong or initially to start something like that. For example, employees in an organization or a company or so can actually do something like that because they gain or they have some benefits out of that. So the majority of the scholars in the authority of the scholars in Saudi, they have said that this is halal. Like the majority of scholars said, it looks like it's a halal way of treatment, because the benefit again is gonna help those kind of people. So the shara, as we know, it doesn't actually make the maslaha or the goodness that people or the benefit that people would gain is haram. As long as there is no hurt, there is no harm, there is no haram in it. Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymeen, the great sheikhs from Saudi, they received that kind of question. So he said there is nothing wrong in that. It looks like it's like a loan, but there is no like special condition in that, like there is no interest. And again, as we said earlier, so this majlis or the council of the authority of the scholars in Saudi, they made that article, they published that article that it's jaiz because it has benefits for all people who are a part of that. And the part that masjid actually receive, it seems like to me it's a good thing because as long as these people are okay with that, are pleased with that kind of like giving 10% of that to the masjid. Again, masjid is always living on the people who donate to the masjid, and especially for example here in the states where there is no like ministry or department of like assets or the awqaf or whatever we call it back home. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I would like to clarify or to get clarification about my question about like selling like this electronic games, for example. Especially if you look at this computer games or the e-games, no, like they have like they are killing people, people killing each other. They have a lot of you know so you could actually play like with virtual against a virtual or versus a virtual player, for example. Like some of this, there is the other one they call it the Red Dead Redemption. It's a game again. People they would play that. The third one is called like a Stronghold Crusader. Two again, it's among like strategic games. It's it's about like it's like the time or telling the time or like simulating the time of the crusades with Muslims during the time of Salah Ad-Din. You could actually take the side of Muslims or the side of crusaders when you build like a castle, or you try to defend your people, you try to defeat your enemy and so on. Sheikh said there is nothing wrong to actually spend some time playing. Um, that's actually lower your stress or help you not to. But again, do not dig into that deeply because that might actually stop you from remembering Allah or prayers or fasting or anything else. So you would have like your own job, like you do like investment or do anything in this life, teaching or doing anything, and this is a very serious part of your life. So in order to have like a good uh, time you spend with your family or your beloved ones or your friends, for example, you can do that, but again, don't take this one to fulfill all your time. So again, according to the game, there is no like general fatwa here. So this, for example, the game that makes you like be a part of like like a gang, for example, this is like haram because it can actually spread the like the the corruption or whatever. This game that shows like this crusaders, it might have like an hidden a hidden like objective or so. It would actually spread the word kufr or crusades or whatever, and it could actually find excuses for that war, and then would actually put like bad words on Muslims or the people of Islam or the history of Muslims. Um, if you choose to play on the side of Muslims, that might be better for you, but I would actually advise you to stay away from all of that. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. What is the hukm of working in like a pre-kindergarten place or maybe like a senior place in Sweden? Sometimes you work in these places and then they hand sandwiches or food uh, is not slaughtered according to the Islamic Sharia, or even sometimes it's like a pork meat. It's a routine of the work in this or the description of that job. So Sheikh says the default or the asl is working in these places is halal, as long as you follow like the shara circumstances or issues here, like to be a physician, for example, or to be a nurse, or so, or to be like the one who's actually do like home nursing or helping this senior people, for example. Um, when you look at this haram like khanzir or pork is haram for Muslims and non-Muslims, by the way. It's haram on the people of the book, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it haram for Muslims. So the other thing you have to look at or consider is your necessity to do this job. If you don't have any other way to, you know, find another job, you can stay there until you find a job that doesn't have that haram. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. My father has some money in the post office. As after many years, he withdrew that money in order to buy the, like, help my sisters actually to get married. We know that the interest he made out of that is haram. We tried to tell him that, but he heard one of the shuyukh says no, the fawaid of or the interest of this money is halal. Whenever we tell him about that, he said no, your word is not like good to me. I follow that sheikh. Sometimes even he would say like utter some bad words. We cannot actually determine exactly how much this interest are, because he opened that account sometimes in 2008 or so. What should we do? So first of all, remember the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever got a fatwa, uh, like it's not authenticated, so the ithm or the sin of that fatwa is gonna be on the scholar or that person who give that fatwa. Uh, I can find like like a like a small door here for your father, because he's trying to just to follow that mufti or that sheikh he listened to, the one who gave him that fatwa. For your sisters, they don't have any sin. They will not carry any sin, because the the money that they gained out of the father, it's the one who actually gained it, the one who earned it. So he's gonna be accountable for or on how he earned that money. But the haram doesn't actually go to those who inherit that money, as long as they gain that money with a halal way, like inherited or gifted or whatever. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Is it makruh or haram to work in some companies that would support the LGBTQ? Um, and during these times, we have a lot of firm or a lot of companies they do support to these people. and they always try to say like we are supporting them, we are friends to them, especially within this initiatives like the DEI or so. So I have found like a job in one of these organizations or these companies uh, is offering that kind of job. Makruh, haram, I would like to know. So Sheikh says, well, if you are talking about makruh, well, it's a clear it's a makruh. That's like very clear to work in this kind of like organizations or firm. Yes, it's a clear it's a makruh. But again, this makruh word can be removed if you are in necessity. So if your job doesn't have any, kind of like using this kind of, character or being a part of that, until Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, you know, give you or secure you another option or another job. So I hope you just try to take this one as a temporary job until you find out. What is the explanation of the following dua? Oh Allah, I seek refuge by you from to get misguided or to misguide somebody or to fail or to uh, be like ignorant or somebody would be ignorant against me or to you know like to treat somebody with injustice or somebody treated me with injustice. It's clear that you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep you away from either one of the two like segments we just looked into. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. There is like an app offer like a service to clients or to customers. So the customer would pay a little bit of money for that service. So you pay online, for example, using like a Visa card or PayPal or whatever. This application is we use it here in Saudi. If I work as a programmer in this company, is it haram? Sheikh says, well, any like late fees on any dain or any loan is riba, and that riba is haram according to all fiqh authorities and organizations. So as Sheikh says, or clearly said here, according to the AMJA, which is the website is amjaonline.org, this is not according to Sharia to charge people like late fees on any loan or any type of business or like any bill for any service like electricity, like um, whatever. You would actually go or use any like facilities like mubah or halal facilities or halal ways to not pay that. Try to stay away from that. Do not pay it. Try to use any way to not pay it. Working as a so as Sheikh says, what haram in this type of things is actually the direct participation in that work. But for example, if you are just a supporting technical support provider or system or programmer or whatever, it's not like that haram as it might be in the shubha or the karaha. If you have like another option or find another job, so that would be better for you. However, if you are, um, you know, cannot find another job, just stay in that until you find another job. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I used to work in a place and then I left that job after 1 month. I talked to my direct manager, but after I left, they still give me like the month of 1 month, which is the last month. Should I get that money? I didn't work that month. Sheikh says, well, in this country or such West, in the West in general, usually do not cut the money immediately. They try to give you like few weeks or whatever until you, like you could get like, for example, an end of job like a gift or something. Maybe this is a risk that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought to you to maybe use during this time until you find another job, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I heard that Salah is not sahih unless we make sure that the time is already in. We are already in. We are here in Algeria, so we can pray. You can hear the call of adhan of the Fajr or the call of Fajr, and then we see still the heaven or the sky still like very dark, especially in the mountain neighborhoods or places. So should I pray just when I hear the adhan? But in this case, I don't know if my salat is going to be accepted or not, since I'm not sure that the time has come or not. As Sheikh says, all this like times has built or designed based on like calculations. We definitely know that it's accurate calculations. It was certified by like big Muslims or Muslim societies or organizations, major societies. So follow them. If you still have any doubt, so try to, like follow whatever you wanna follow, but maybe you can put it on a side of the people. Do not actually go and make a fitna between the people in where you live. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. We have a house that is owned by a bank. We can buy it, paying that money with installments. But among the required documents is just like a life insurance and also insurance for the house. What is the hukm of that? Considering or taking into account that I am renting a place right now, and then I try to find a place to rent again, and again the rent is very high right now. Sheikh says, well, the commercial insurance is like the haram contracts. It's only halal, or we can give like a rukhsa, and that's at the necessity when you are really in need to that. It's less than riba, but if you must get that insurance to get that house, it's gonna be halal or mubah. I don't see that actually a lot here in the banks here, but if you got this offer and the only wrong thing here is just to get this insurance and you are in need of that house, just do it, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from you. Sheikh, concluding this session by making dua to the people of Syria, people of Palestine, and all Muslims and their families. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu